INA attacked from the east, from the Burma side, the British Indian Army on two vital points. One is the Arakan front, that is just opposite to our hilly Chittagong in the southern part, and northern part on the from the Burma side, that is on the Imphal Manipur front, Imphal Kohima Imphal front, and on that side was the Azad Hind Army, which is basically a guerrilla warfare army, and Japanese army on these two fronts. And here on this side, British Army, British Indian Army, Canadian Army, Australian Army, New Zealand Army, all these armies, and from north it is Chinese Army, a massive army. And that time on the plain land, on the India side, there was a huge American army, also American Air Force, British Royal Air Force, backing the whole Allied force here. On that side, Axis force. And by number, you see, by number, the side on the Allied force is very less, but still then there is historic victories. One very historic victory is the Moirang. Moirang is a place, once the life center of this hilly area. It was in the past, it's a part of Manipur. This is in this hilly range, the western part of this hilly range. Here at the hilltop this township is under British occupation. On 13th April 1944, the British retreated from there under pressure of the INA and Japanese army. And on 14th, Indian national tricolor was hoisted on this flag, on this town by S.A. Malik, and there was a Japanese army also. And by that, about 1500 square kilometer of Indian territory was liberated, where Dr. A.C. Chatterjee was appointed as the governor, and that remained free for about 6 months. That is our important chapter on its history. Before that, in 1943 31st December, national tricolor has been hoisted in Port Blair by Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. That is the first territory which has come to the state of provisional government of India. And now this is the second state area of land on the mainland of India. And though this victory was temporary for us, but actually these victories subsequently, when people of this country came to know at the beginning of the trial of the Indian army soldiers in the Red Fort, that agitated the whole of Bharatvarsha, people of Bharatvarsha, and a spirit of nationalism, irrespective of any religion, caste and creed, that was ignited, and that frightened the British Indian army, that frightened the British, and that gradually compelled British, and subsequently some revolutions and some rebellions, not only in the Indian Royal Navy, also Air Force. And British saw that to keep India under the throne, the only thing is their blind loyalty. That loyalty is broken, and moreover, to rule this country and to have it is not possible to depend on this Indian army, which has become unfaithful to us, to Queen. We have to, in this case, we have to bring about 2 lakhs of white soldiers from England. But at the end of the Second Great War, when in the Second Great War, each family of the England has lost either his father or the son in the war front. it was not possible for them to send 1 or 2 lakhs of soldiers to India. That's why they managed with the Congress and Muslim League to manage the situation, to retreat in advance before any revolution takes place. If any revolution takes place, then the whole undivided country will be liberated, and the power will go to real revolutionaries' hands. Before that, they managed, Muslim League, Congress and British managed to divide the country and keeping their economic interest in the subcontinent. And you see, about 10 years back, in a history conference with the historians in the Royal College of Historians in England, there was a discussion in their war history of 300 years, which is the most important war they have fought, which has decided the fate of the British Empire. They discussed on Waterloo, the Napoleon's Day, and the Great and the D-Day on the Europe at the end of the Second Great War. They compare all these things with the Imphal and Kohima front war, and they concluded that actually the consequences of the Imphal Kohima front is the most significant in deciding the fate of the British Empire on the world. Okay.